Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning everyone. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 29th July 2021. Let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. Largely they relate to our mains examination. Some inputs related to prelims examination also. We will take inputs here. Yes, let us take overview of all these articles first. The Japanese education spells holistic development. On page number 6, a very good article written, especially it is talking from the perspective of ethics paper, GS4 as well as essay. So, the importance of education in creating the responsible citizenry. Okay, how education, especially the elementary education, helps in building the united society, at the same time the responsible citizens. Okay, so from that aspect it is important. Already last year there was question regarding national education policy. There was very good statement in GS4 paper, ethics paper. So surely we can expect such question later this year also, or essay topic related to that. Now, probing Pegasus. Recently West Bengal government invoked Commission of Inquiry Act, and the two-member commission has been established to probe into the Pegasus allegations, the spyware allegations. So from that aspect, polity and governance, GS2 paper, this is important article. We will understand how this particular step by the state government is significant, at the same time how it is going to face some constraints, challenges also. Okay, so from polity and governance perspective, we are going to take input here. Then democratic values bind India, US, says Blinken. So US official Blinken is on visit to India. So there were, let's say, talks between the external affairs minister and Mr. Blinken also. At the same time, he also visited the civil society group, their representatives, and discussed some important social issues also. So the highlights of these meetings from international relations, GS2 paper, India-US relationship. Okay, so from that aspect we have to take input here. Now, China foreign minister hosts Taliban, calls it a pivotal force. Now, this is a new development that is happening. Already we are discussing the Taliban, the role of Taliban in Afghanistan, protecting India's interest in Afghanistan, all these aspects. So as a follow-up to that, how China is working with Taliban. So this is new development. Taliban and China is having the open dialogue now. Okay, so how India should look at this development in future, there will be some articles, but you should be aware about this development. Then oxygen for fiscal federalism. On page number 7, there is one article. It is talking about the fiscal constraints faced by the state governments during the pandemic period, especially dealing with the healthcare sector and other essential services. And the GST compensation cess issue, last year we have discussed about that, and the fiscal constraints faced by the state government, how they can be augmented. So state government's funds how they can be augmented, especially by invoking the one of the provision in Article 279A of Indian Constitution. So from that particular provision we have to understand that, and we can write that in your mains examination question. Then lastly, practice prelims MCQ. Some prelims related developments will take input from time to time in these articles, and very good important captions and quotations in one of the article. Lastly, we will look at that. Okay, first article, yes, on page number 6, this article is written, Japanese education spells holistic development. Okay, so how we can borrow from Japanese education system? Now we can understand that in last 1.5 years the schools have been closed, and recently there are, let's say, talks that whether schools should be reopened or not, and if they are reopened, how the changes are going to be there. Okay, so the changes that are required in our holistic, or we can say overall education system, especially school education system we are talking here. So especially when we are talking about essay topic and GS4 ethics paper, there was one question in 2020 mains examination GS4 paper. It was talking about the ethical aspects related to NEP, National Education Policy 2020. And the statement initially it talks about that education is not only the incursion, rather it is the all around persuasive tool for holistic individual development and social transformation. So from this you can see the first statement, investment in education yields both private and social returns. It is similar to that statement. Let us understand how it results into or yields into private. Surely the more we are investing in education, there will be private returns in terms of, let's say, increase in skill levels, knowledge levels, and ultimately it will help in employment and increase in income levels, improved standard of life. So the more the level of education that the person is having, it is, let's say, a kind of straight proportion, a direct proportion with the income levels and standard of living. Now social returns, now this is very important. In terms of social returns, especially the elementary education is very important. In ethics paper, the role of parents, school and society or social surrounding in terms of, let's say, socialization process is very important. Schools are very important elements in overall development, especially the moral development of children. So social returns, once the child is getting younger and then we can say as an adult, how it is reflecting in its behavior. For example, if we are talking about during pandemic times, suppose there is essential services are being provided by the government and suppose there are lack of resources and there is, let's say, crisis situation, whether the people are behaving in a responsible manner, whether they are following the queue for availing those basic services, or there is chaos. So this is decided by the values which are inculcated in the childhood itself, especially in the elementary education. Okay, so school education, such kind of social returns are the result of good quality education. Now, emphasis on non-cognitive elements. So, Japanese education system not only provides for cognitive education, that is focus on core abilities in terms of science, mathematics or language, but also non-cognitive elements. Now, how it focuses on non-cognitive elements, there is one defining feature of Japanese schooling, Chi Toku Tai. Three terms are there, Chi Toku Tai. You can use this in essay paper. Okay, you can mention directly one paragraph in essay paper giving reference to Japanese education system. Okay, so Ji Toku Tai. So Chi is related to knowledge. So it focuses on gaining knowledge, appropriate knowledge or core abilities. Okay, then Toku, it talks about virtue. That means value inculcation. Virtue, that means good values inculcation. And third is Tai, TAI. It talks about physical and mental well-being. Physical and mental well-being. So in schools in Japan, all three are given appropriate importance. Okay, so Chi Toku Tai, knowledge, virtue and physical and mental well-being. Okay, in this manner you can explain that. Now the elementary school curriculum supplemented by moral education, integrated studies and special activities. Let us see them one by one. So the normal curricular, educational curriculum can be aided, supplemented by these three for overall development of the children. Moral education. Now this is very important. The moral education, especially when we are talking about creating the socially responsible behavior by the people, not only towards other fellow human beings but also towards nature and animals. not only towards fellow human beings but also towards nature. This is the significance of moral education. Okay, so value inculcation, this is very important aspect of moral education. Now, the second is integrated studies. Integrated studies, here it is talking about students should be given the opportunities and platforms to discuss local problems and give solutions for that. Integrated studies, not only the academic aspects but also the applied aspect. This is how the integrated studies it is talking about. Okay, so local problems can be any kind of thing, like there is plastic pollution in the surrounding, or suppose there is the health and hygiene problem is there. So such kind of local problems can be discussed in the school level and then the solutions can be sought from them. So this actually increases their thinking ability to solve the social problems, applied aspects. And then the third, it is talking about the special activities. Special activities, it is saying that considering school as a society and having some extracurricular activities as a part of society. For example, let's say they are giving the different tasks of, let's say, organizing an event or management of certain parts of the school for a certain period of time, okay, after completing the curricular activities. So such kind of special activities ensure or inculcate the important skills in them and the teamwork they have through this let's say special activities. So important quality of Japan or Japanese society is collectivism. Now this collectivism is to some extent opposite to the Western philosophies of, we can say, liberalism. Okay, liberal values or liberalism, individualism. The Western societies, they focus on the individualism, individual freedom, individual liberty, these are the important values. However, the Japanese society, it focuses on collectivism. Collectivism, that means, let's say, one will not be, let's say, gaining the victory unless and until the all people or the team members are gaining the victory. So this is the collectivism. It promotes, we can say, equitable and united society. It promotes equitable and united society. This is promoted through various special activities in teams. Okay, they are, let's say, promoting these children to work in the teams and promoting these values of collectivism in the school itself. Now, this is very helpful to reduce the societal, let's say, tensions in the society, or we can say promotes harmony in the society, unity in the society. Okay, so in this manner, the different values, virtues, and how these non-cognitive elements becomes the important part of school education so as to have a good society or the socially appropriate behavior by the people or adults. Are you getting this, everyone? What kind of question we can expect here? Again, elementary school curriculum can play a tremendous role in building courteous and mindful societies. In this respect, explain the role played by schools in creating responsible citizenry. Such kind of simple, straightforward question can be expected in GS4 paper, ethics paper. Okay, so yes, courteous and mindful societies, very good example mentioned in the article. It is saying that the school children, when they are crossing the signal, suppose they are crossing the road, then suppose they are given the way by the cars stopping at the signal, then they are very courteous. They are, let's say, given the value of bowing down and saying thank you to these people. Okay, so small children are given such values of showing courtesy, okay, and they are given the values of ensuring and dignity and respect of other people, right? So in this manner, building courteous and mindful societies, this is going to be helpful when we are providing the elementary school curriculum with such kind of non-cognitive elements in that part of curriculum. Yes, any question regarding this? Now,
I have
yes,
regarding the first one.
yes, tell me.
Why should we need follow the culture from the children? Actually, we have a ancient history of the education is the best thing we called Indian studies and whatever the cultures and respect, whatever the developments of in ancient India. Then why should we need to adopt that type of policy? Actually, Indians having the best record in the education system. Just like Takshashila and some institutions, example, Tagore has been established some institutions in the Pachim Bengal. Then why should we need to compare that type of institutions?
See, yes, surely either we can take input from our ancient values, ethos, they are also similar kind of values, okay. They are also similar kind of values, but we are not saying that we should completely copy the Japanese system. Rather, the positive things can be inculcated in our curriculum. What we can learn from them, okay. We can adopt some of the things, we can bring some flexibility in those things and which are adaptable to our society, our educational system, they can be included. Not all of the system exactly copying to Indian education system. Okay, so we are not directly saying that we are going to copy or we should copy the Japanese system, rather we are saying that good things can be taken. Okay, and this is actually universal. Okay, this should be there and this is there in every actually developed countries, not only the Japan but Western countries also. But Western countries promote libertarian or we can say individualism, individual liberty, such kind of values. Okay, but here the Japanese society is to some extent focusing on collectivism, and we should understand that our values also lean toward that. Though the constitutional values they focus on individual liberty and all, but what as a Indian society we have always promoted unity, integrity and collectivism even in the past, right? Okay, yes. Yes, the second question, second let's say article on page number 6 editorial, probing Pegasus, the judicial probe by West Bengal government into allegations of surveillance, state surveillance in terms of that Pegasus spyware. So this is the context of this article and we should understand what are the present claims by the union government. So union government has neither accepted nor rejected the use of Pegasus. Okay, so at present there is no clarity about that. This is the stand of central government. It is saying that illegal surveillance is not possible in India. This is the statement, official statement. Now, what are the concerns invoked by the West Bengal CM before, let's say, ordering this judicial probe under Commissions of Enquiry Act 1952? Commissions of Enquiry Act 1952, 2-member commission has been established here. So the concerns, like for example, the impact of such kind of surveillance on democracy, independence of judiciary, or we can say autonomy of legislators, okay, and we can say that freedom of speech and expression. So such kind of state surveillance is affecting these different values and therefore such kind of commission of inquiry act has been invoked and 2-member commission has been established by the state government. Okay, so what are the constraints that this 2-member commission? Yes, one of the member is the former Supreme Court judge, Mr. Madan Lokur, and the other is the former Chief Justice of Calcutta High Court. Okay, these are the 2 members. Now, what constraints they may face? Surely, very less number of people will come forward to testify these mobile phones by the, let's say, appropriate laboratories for any kind of infection by the Pegasus spyware. Okay, so there will not be a huge number of people coming forward for such kind of, let's say, checking of their mobile phones for this spyware. First constraint. Second constraint is that we are not clear that whether our intelligence agencies, which are largely central agencies, they will be cooperating with this commission or not. So their cooperation, so especially in terms of getting the information and different documents related to all these surveillance allegations. So whether these intelligence agencies will cooperate with this commission or not, this is going to be the challenge. We have to understand that these intelligence agencies at present there is no even the parliamentary oversight on these intelligence agencies, and how they are going to cooperate with the commission that is established by the state government. Okay, so this is the big question here. So whatever the outcome by this commission, whether it will be effective or not, that remains the question. And therefore, as a way forward, what we should focus here, it will be both desirable and appropriate if center itself ordered a wide-ranging judicial inquiry into Pegasus scandal. Whether it is going to happen or not, that remains the question. Okay, but it is surely the desirable aspect, because the truth should come forward in front of people. This is the most important thing at present, the most important concern related to these allegations. Okay? Any question? We are having follow up on all these issues, Pegasus issues, and yes, from the ED batch and the foundation batch. In ED, surely this topic is in depth going to be dealt. Okay, so don't worry about that. Fine? Okay. Now, the visit of US official Blinken to India. So, the meeting with External Affairs Minister, democratic values and free citizenry bind India and US together. This is the statement. The two sides discussed the cooperation on wide range of issues including Afghanistan, countering COVID-19, Indo-Pacific strategy and Quad. These are the issues discussed. Along with that, there was civil society roundtable discussion. Civil society roundtable discussion. This is for the first time such kind of discussion has taken place in India. So here the social issues, the problems that are going on in India, like inter-religious relations, media freedom, farmers protest, love jihad, violence, minority rights were the part of discussion that visiting US Secretary of State Antony Blinken had with a group of people including representatives of Dalai Lama. Now this is very unique. Representatives of Dalai Lama were present in that grouping, though the direct Tibet issue was not discussed in that discussion, but it is going to incite some kind of anger by the China. Already the Chinese government has given the statement that democratic values should not be invoked to threaten the other countries, because that is communist country, right? So promoting these democratic values and considering them the superior than the other countries, other values. So China feels threatened by such kind of things. So surely we can understand that India-US ties, the core of these ties is democratic values shared by these two countries. Yes, Indian people and American people believe in human dignity and equality of opportunity, the rule of law, fundamental freedoms, including freedom of religion, belief, right? So this is how the Blinken said in the remarks released to the media. Use such points. What are these democratic values shared between these two countries? Okay, in your answer always when we talk about the core of India-US relationship, either in let's say introduction or in conclusion or positives. So this becomes one point when we are talking about the positives in India-US relations, right? Okay, so next we'll understand whether there is outcome of this visit, certain let's say agreements, whether they were signed, any decisions were taken later on when we will get the information about it. Fine. China Foreign Minister hosts Taliban, calls it just a moment. Yes. Calls it a pivotal force. Okay, so China on 28th July, yesterday, that is, hosted a rare 9-member Taliban delegation amid its recent ascendancy in Afghanistan. Okay, and calls it at the pivotal military and political force in the country, Afghanistan. Now, this is very unique because earlier we discussed China wants to protect its own Xinjiang province from any kind of violence from the extremist groups in Afghanistan. Which are these extremist groups? For example, East Turkestan Islamic Movement, ETIM, remember this name, which has carried out attacks in Xinjiang in past in China. This is having the border with Afghanistan, Xinjiang province of China. Okay, so western part of China. So China is more concerned about this aspect. China is more concerned about this aspect, and in this meeting the Taliban delegation head has affirmed that the group will not allow any force to use Afghan territory to do anything harmful to China. So basically such kind of open dialogue support to Taliban as an important, let's say, stakeholder in Afghanistan is resulting into cooperation between these two. So yes, already we discussed about whether India should have the open dialogue with Taliban. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, we talked about these particular issues. Okay, so already India has started the dialogue with Taliban, but there is no yet open dialogue with Taliban. Open dialogue is not started yet. Okay, this is the present situation. Now, oxygen for fiscal federalism. Here it is talking about augmenting the state government resources to deal with this pandemic. At present, they are facing fiscal constraints. Okay, and the central government is also facing fiscal constraint, but it is better positioned than the state governments. However, health being the state subject, at the same time essential services are to be provided by the state government itself. So more problems regarding the finances of the state. So what can be invoked? The constitutional provision section 4F of article 279A. In the union government can consider introducing any special rate to raise additional resources during the pandemic, any natural calamity and disaster. The specific statement of this article, it says that the GST Council shall make recommendation to the union and state on any special rate or rates for specified period to raise additional resources during any natural calamity or disaster. Now we can understand pandemic can be a natural calamity or disaster. Already it is declared as a notified disaster by government last year. So this particular section can be invoked for the special rate that could be levied for a specific period of time in order to raise additional resources to meet the finances of the state governments. Okay, so you should be aware about already the GST compensation cess issue that happened last year, and ultimately the central government accepted that they are going to borrow and provide those, let's say, borrowings to the state governments. And further, by end of the 2022, the 5-year period is going to end for this GST compensation. After that, how state governments who have lost their revenue because of introduction of GST, how they are going to get the, we can say, less amount of resources, revenue that they are having at present. So this becomes the challenge during the pandemic times. Okay, so you should be aware about the constitutional provision. This particular article, Article 279A, was added in the constitution, especially it talks about GST Council. It talks about GST Council. Now those who have been preparing for last 1 year, can you tell me that Article 279A was inserted through which of the following Constitutional Amendment Act? Yes, GST related amendment, C 101 Constitutional Amendment Act. Right. So through this Article 279A, it was inserted in the constitution. It talks about the president should constitute after 60 days of this amendment act this GST council within 60 days actually. Okay, GST council, goods and services council, and then this council, this composition, all these things are mentioned in that. Okay, 279A, fine, yes. So important captions and quotations. That particular first article we discussed about Japanese education system. Look at these statements. Yes, first statement we already discussed, investment in education yield both private and social returns. Education is everything that expands our capabilities as individuals as well as societies. Okay. Moral education includes norms that define socially responsible and considerate behavior towards everyone, including nature. Elementary school curriculum can play a tremendous role in building courteous and mindful societies. Unlike the West, Japan is collectivist society, working as a group, and group harmony is fundamental to this society. The general belief that one wins only when the group wins generates equitable and united societies. Such kind of statements can be directly written in your mains examination answers as well as essay paper. Okay, these are effective captions that can be directly written. Okay, so from time to time when such articles appear, we are providing them. You can note them down in your notebook. You can use them by revising them from time to time. Okay, yes. So these are the important articles. Any question regarding this? Yes. Okay then, let us stop today. We will meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.